Hello guys, welcome to weekly outlook here on the DXY, the pound, USD and gold. And quickly starting off from DXY here on the daily time frame, we've seen a huge downtrend here, and price came up to an iconic support level here, which was at 100. It's also a psychological level, and price is rejecting off that region. My anticipation is for price to probably reject up all the way to 102 region here, maybe before we can continue to the downside. So for now, we might be looking for a short-term buys for the DXY, which is invariably short-term sells in pound USD. We're going to see that in a bit. So if I put this on the 4 hours time frame, we could see how we're getting a structure for a a buys. Like we will see a double bottom here and also an inverse head and shoulder pattern. This is more like the neckline being broken right now, which means there's still room for price to move to the upside. Putting this back onto the daily time frame, my anticipation is but before then, before we hit putting up the max, you can see from this regions here, when price made the long leg to the downside, we'll see price coming to if we're to follow the Fibonacci retracement tool, we should be anticipating price to come retest 102 at least 102, then 102.35 regions, which is the 61.8% retracement rule. Then if you look at the TPs, you can see price should anticipate to come to 99.77 and probably below. Looking good. If that is going to play out, that means we'll be looking out for price, or looking out for opportunities to see price continue to the upside. This is what I'll be looking out for. Either we see price just pull back a little bit to this breakout it did here on 101.50, and then we'll see price come all the way to 102.30. okay, or at market open we can just see price continue to the upside. Any of that, okay, basically. I'm actually just looking out for bull moves here on the DXY. I don't see any possibilities for a short sell or sells. Let me see. Let me put this properly. Okay, that's okay. Okay, that being said, we just see the neckline broken and maybe pull back. Let me see the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, possibly a pullback. Let me see if this was if this is okay. So let me see here. All right, yeah, basically just a pullback to here or here. We see price continue to the upside, basically. All right, that's what we'll be anticipating. All right, that's that for the DXY. I'm just anticipating price to continue to the upside here. The only reason I'll be looking for sales is if price starts rejecting and then breaks 100.68. But the way price is looking, I'm still anticipating a huge push to the upside here for DXY. Okay, that being said, we head on to pound USD. We've seen last week price creating a head and shoulder pattern, which means there's a huge room for price to go to the downside. If you slow down to the 1 hour time frame, we could actually, if I take this off a little bit, we could actually see this will probably be the neckline, and we saw price really break and retest that area. Okay, this is also a huge and important area as well. Recall we are still on the 1 hour time frame, so this is an important area as well. So what I'm anticipating going forward is either price comes back here to break this at market open, retest, anticipating price to come all the way to 1.3045 region, a break and maybe a continuation to the downside, or we could get price pull back at market open to these regions again, either 1.3162 or even this region here, and then we could see price continue to the downside. Okay, let's put this on the daily time frame a little bit. More or less, if you watch what happened here in the past, if we watch what happened here in the past, let me put this in the 4 hours time frame. I think that's where it made sense. Daily. Okay, so we saw price make a huge move here. Okay, this is where I'm looking out for. We saw price make this huge move here, creating a new high. All right, and then we definitely saw price pulling back. It's similar to what's happening right now. So we saw price pulling back to this area where it created the other higher high. So this is our previous higher high, like these regions, and then price made a new higher high. Okay, now in that case, if we were to make a similarity, price usually repeat what it did in the past. So we're seeing price pulling back to these regions, at least to that region where it would hold off is a support line. Okay, so similarly, that means I'm anticipating more room to the downside, at least for price to come back and retest 1.30 region. Yep. So in the 4 hours time frame, this is basically it. I need price to break, retest, come back to 130, or we could see price pull back a little bit at market open, either to 1.3160 or 1.3180, and then sell off again to see price all the way to these regions. The only reason I'll be looking for buy setup for now is I know we are in the uptrend, right? But for me to look for buys at this moment, I would like to see price create another high. At this point, I feel like we've started creating a structure for lower lows and lower highs with this head and shoulder pattern and the neckline broken. I think there's still move and there's more room for price to go to the downside. Okay, that being said, lastly here, gold basically ranging, and as simple as it looks, once price breaks this 2531 region retest, I'll look for price to buy. At this moment, we see price ranging. If you slip down to the 1 hour time frame, you see where it has created that room, which is basically around this region here. Okay, so this is where it's created the support, reject. So in this case, for sales, for sales, I think looking for sales, will look for price to break below this region. I don't want to see gold mess me up, so all the way to 2475 regions here. If price comes back to 2475 here, then we might actually see price start buying up from that region. Okay, all right, so let's go back to the 4 hours time frame so it will be clear. So at this point, price is ranging between 2527, or let's call it 2530 region, and 2500 basically. So if price breaks this region here, we could sell off to 2477, 2475 region here, and then we might start rejecting and then buy up again. But if price moves and breaks this consolidation to the upside, we'll look for buy entries. Okay, that's that for gold, and that's that for the weekly outlook this week. I'll see you guys for weekly recap on during the weekend, and make sure you back some peep this week, and ciao.